The murder of Tia Sharp, the 30th of June 2000 to the 3rd of August 2012, was a high-profile case of child murder in the United Kingdom. The victim was a 12-year-old girl, Tia Sharp, who was reported missing from and later found dead in the home of her grandmother in New Addington, London, in August 2012. After her body was discovered, police arrested her grandmother, Christine Bicknell, and Christine's then-boyfriend, Stuart Huzzell, on suspicion of murder. Huzzell was charged with Tia Sharp's murder on 12 August. 5 days into his trial at the Old Bailey in May 2013, Huzzell changed his plea from not guilty to guilty. He was sentenced to life imprisonment, with the judge setting a minimum term of 38 years. Disappearance. Huzzell told police that Sharp had left the house on the 3rd of August 2012 to travel to Croydon, 5 miles away, to buy shoes in the Whitgift Centre. On the 7th of August, Sharp's uncle, David Sharp, made a televised plea for her safe return. 55 sightings were reported by members of the public, but none were substantiated. 80 police officers were assigned to the search, and 800 hours of CCTV footage were collected. On the 9th of August, Huzzell gave an interview to Mark Williams-Thomas for ITV News, denying that he had done anything to Sharp and praying for her safe return. Investigation. On the 10th of August, a body was discovered in a black bedsheet and a black bag in the loft of the home of Sharp's grandmother, after police visited it for the 4th time. Police launched a search for Huzzell, and arrested him on suspicion of murder that evening at 8:25 p.m. at Cannon Hill Common, Morden, after a tip-off from a member of the public. It was later announced that 2 further arrests had been made. Sharp's grandmother, Christine Bicknell, on suspicion of murder, and Bicknell's neighbor, Paul Meehan, on suspicion of assisting an offender. Bicknell and Meehan were subsequently bailed. Commander Neil Basu, the officer in charge of the investigation, apologized to Tia Sharp's mother for the delay in finding her daughter's body. He blamed human error and said that a review would be undertaken to ensure such a failing is not repeated. Shortly after Huzzell's arrest, memory cards were recovered from Christine Bicknell's residence. One was particularly well hidden in a door frame on the ground floor of the property. Police were able to recover images and videos, some of which had been deleted. Some of the files portrayed Tia in sexual positions, believed to have been taken post-mortem, whereas others were voyeuristic images of when Tia was still alive. For example, videos of Tia applying moisturizer to her legs, or of Tia asleep in her bedroom. It has been suggested by forensic psychologist Dr. Kerry Nixon that Huzzell may have kept these images for later sexual gratification. In the early hours of the 12th of August, Huzzell was charged with the murder of Sharp. He appeared before Camberwell Green Magistrates Court on the 13th of August via video link. No plea was entered and the case was committed to the Old Bailey for trial, with a first appearance on the 15th of August. Also via video link, with a preliminary hearing set for the 19th of November and a provisional trial date set for the 21st of January 2013. He was remanded in custody to Belmarsh Prison, where he was kept in isolation for his own safety. A post-mortem on the body began on the 10th of August, and paused later that day. By the 16th of August, the post-mortem had still not been completed, but at an inquest into the death, which opened that day, it was confirmed that the body was that of Tia Sharp. The post-mortem later concluded without establishing the cause of death. Experts told This Is Croydon Today that the delay in finding the body made it much harder to establish the cause of death, and that without a cause of death the prosecution would find it much harder to build a case. However, detectives suspected, and it was widely reported, that Tia Sharp was smothered, although this was not officially proven to be the cause of death. It has been suggested by forensic psychologist Dr. Kerry Nixon that Huzzell may have made sexual advances towards Tia, and murdered her when she rebuffed him and threatened to tell her mother. On the 23rd of August, Police Commissioner Bernard Hogan Howe addressed his force's failure to find Sharp's body. He said the error could not be attributed to a single officer, and that he wanted to understand what processes and management decisions we've made that led to that failure. Tia Sharp was cremated on the 14th of September, after a private family funeral. Court proceedings. It was announced on the 26th of November 2012 that Hazel would face trial in May 2013. On the 7th of December, the Metropolitan Police announced that Christine Bicknell would not face charges. On the 5th of February 2013, neighbor Paul Meehan was charged with wasting police time. He appeared at Croydon Magistrates Court on the 28th of February 2013, where he denied the charge against him and was released on bail for a one-day trial on 29 July. Hazel L. pleaded not guilty to murder when he appeared in court on the 8th of March 2013. The trial of Hazel began on the 7th of May 2013 before Mr. Justice Nicole. On the 13th of May, Hazel changed his plea to guilty and was sentenced to life imprisonment on the 14th of May with a minimum term of 38 years, meaning he will be 75 years old before he is eligible for parole. On the 5th of August 2013, Meehan was found guilty of wasting police time and sentenced to 5 months in prison. Aftermath. In June 2013, Sharp's biological father, Stephen Carter, announced that he was going to be a father again, as his girlfriend was pregnant. In July 2013, Carter said he backed a plan for websites to be told to block certain search terms and warn people when they try to view illegal content. In June 2013, the home of Christine Bicknell and Stuart Hazel, where Tia Sharp was murdered, was demolished, and in mid-2014, work began on new houses being built on the site. In November 2013, partly in response to the murders of Tia Sharp and April Jones, the search engines Google and Bing modified their systems to block results from searches aimed at producing child abuse images. In March 2014, the murder of Tia Sharp was featured in CI Channel's series, Britain's Darkest Taboos, as the first episode of Series 3, broadcast on the 16th of March 2014. See also List of solved missing persons cases. References. External links: The murder of Tia Sharp, Timeline of her disappearance.